Hi there, I'm Chris from Hanna Instruments UK, and today I'm going to walk through the 93703 Turbidity Meter. I'm going to show you how to generally use it and how to calibrate it. It's a simple enough meter to use with just 4 buttons: the on-off, which is self-explanatory, date, cal and read, and I'll talk you through those buttons in a moment. The first thing is that we want to make sure we've got a calibration standard set up. So these are the 3 calibration bottles that would arrive. So we've got the 0, the 10 and the 500 FTU, and within these boxes that's how the bottles look. They come colour coded with their caps, so you've got 0, 10 and 500 there. What I do recommend is that you get a set of vials that are dedicated to your calibration. So that's 0 and 500 again. I'm just going to show you how we're going to pour those out. So for the 10 standard, I've got a bottle here. We're just going to invert that a few times to make sure it's mixed well. Take the lid off and pour that up to the line. The bottle holds 30 ml and the vial holds 10 ml. So obviously you get 3 uses out of a bottle. From this point, the vials do come with these small rubber caps which can be used. This is to ensure the vial definitely won't leak. So you can opt to push that in there. But if this is going to be stored in a cupboard, then that won't be necessary. We just place the cap straight on there. So first we press the on-off button and the meter is going to show 4 lines, which means it's in the read mode. What I like to do when I'm calibrating is to take the 10 FTU standard, give it a wipe with a cloth, place it in, you find the notch alignment and press read. It takes about 15 seconds. It says SIP and that flashes, so that means sampling in progress, and that's going to just flash those letters for about 15 seconds now until we have the result. The meter does come with this black cap as well, and that's to ensure that it stays clean inside the chamber, and we do recommend that when you're not measuring, you do keep this black cap inside. So that's measuring 10.5, which is a bit high, and we want to change that, so I'm going to go through the calibration process with you. So then, going with the calibration process, we press the cal button first, it flashes cal, and then it also flashes the date. So you can just wait for this to work its way through to the calibration phase. So right now it's flashing 0.00, so it's asking for the 0 vial. Because the 0 and the 10 do look similar to the naked eye, I do advise that you mark these vials with a sticker, maybe on the top, or a mark at the bottom of the vial, just nothing in the center of the vial so that the light can shine through it. So we take that vial, we wipe it, and we place that in the chamber. And we press the cal button once more, you'll get the SIP again, and again 15 odd seconds, and in a few moments it's going to flash the 10, so then it'll be asking for the 10 vial. The calibration process really is just pressing the cal button 4 times. The first time it enters calibration mode, we wait for it to flash 0, and then it's just pressing the 0, the 10 and the 500, and then it will be calibrated from there. So now it's flashing the 10. I remove that vial again with a wipe of the 10 vial and invert just to homogenize it. Place that in and press cal. And I'll just get the 500 ready. So we're going to wipe it, invert it, just to make sure it's homogenized. So in a few seconds, it will flash 500 at me and we'll replace that. There we go. Press cal. So one of the important things with the calibration of the meter isn't necessarily the process we're going through right now, where we are telling the meter this is 0, 10 and 500 FTU. The most important part of the calibration process really is reading afterwards to make sure that the meter is reading true within the tolerances that we've set. So as an example, I'm going to use 2% as a tolerance for turbidity. So whilst it's finished the calibration mode, we've got the 500 in there, but it's reverted back to the 4 dashes, which is the read mode. I'm just going to press read on the 500 standard. So 2% tolerance on 500 would be somewhere between 490 and 510 that we would be happy with. And that's going to read for me 501. So we take the vial out, we place the 10 in there, and we press read again. If for any reason one of the vials didn't read within the tolerance that you've set, or multiple of the vials you didn't read within the tolerance you've set, but they are close, the likelihood is the meter just didn't quite get there in the first time round of the calibration. So my best advice there would be just to go through the calibration mode one more time, and it should read true on the second time round. So that's reading within tolerance, and we place the 0 in there and press read, and that will be all 3 of my vials done. So the calibration process would be dependent on your own SOP as to how frequent you need to do that. I've heard anything from monthly to, more or less frequent than that. Monthly is not a bad frequency to do a turbidity calibration. So that's reading within tolerance as well, so we're happy with that. So that's the end of the calibration process. The only thing from here I'd advise is that the standards and vials are all kept safe, in a cupboard maybe, in an ambient temperature area where they can be stored and kept nice and safe. So at this point we'll go into a normal reading for the meter. So we've got our sample here. If you're taking the sample immediately and getting it into the vial, that's great. But because this has been a few minutes, I'm going to just invert it a few times to homogenize it. Pour that into our vial, up to the line. Place the cap on it. And again, we're going to remove fingerprints and residues with our cloth. Place that into the chamber. Get to the notch alignment and press read. And after, again, 10 to 15 seconds, that's going to give us a result on the meter, and that's what we're going to record. So that's it for the HI-93703 Turbidity Meter. It really is a simple and easy meter to use in both reading and calibration. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us at Hanna Instruments UK. Thanks a lot.